Hello, hi, welcome to the new video. As a series of SAST, today we are going to discuss about what are the OWASP top 10 for SAST and why the OWASP top 10 matters for SAST and like what categories, like what are the list of OWASP top 10 for web as per 2021 and just a brief about that and what was changed in 2021 compared with the 2017 and how the SAST and OWASP top 10 are interconnected and what makes the common between the security team and developer team for better security communication. So let us start with this and have a discussion around it. So we all know like WAPS was the one of the WAPS stands for Open Worldwide Web Application Security Project. uh, it provides security, did a it provides security for Kubernetes, Docker, as well as Web API. As a part of Web, we are going to consider that for SAST. Okay, so it provides a standard awareness document for critical web application security risks, and they will like study based upon the actual fact data. Okay, they based upon around 5 lakhs plus of applications tested worldwide. So these will set a kind of industry benchmark for security priorities, like what need to be prioritized first, like that. Okay, and it is very much essential for DevSecOps engineers. Okay, and let us now like exactly discuss why the OWASP top 10 matters in SAST. Uh, Basically, the SAST tools detect the code vulnerabilities aligned with the OWASP top 10. So the universal language between the security as well as the development teams will be the OWASP top 10, whatever the top 10 comes under the OWASP top 10 for web application security testing. So that will be the common language for security team and developers. And here the SAST reports map the findings to these categories. So it will help to prioritize how to fix first. Sorry, what to fix first. Okay. So based upon that, they can prioritize. The developer can prioritize fixing the issues. And here you can see a small correlation between the SAST tools as well as OWASP top 10. Okay. So here let's say if there is a one finding. Okay, so that will be listed under the OAPS. Now here the bridge will be the OAPS project. Okay, so whatever the issue finds the issues, uh, here the issue will come into picture, and here the SAST tool will be there, like scanners. Okay, and scanners will find the issues, and whatever the finding is done. Okay, so this particular finding, whether is it a critical or whether is it a low or what is the severity, CVSS score, everything will be, and will be segregated based upon this WAPS top 10. Okay, WAPS categories, we can say. Okay, in the next slides we are going to discuss about that. So here this was the just a kind of a bridge that will help to the SAST tools to map according to the WAPS top 10, to prioritize the issues and to fix them first. Okay, so now let us deep dive into categories of WAPS top 10. Okay, so here in this particular slide there are 5 categories, total 10 categories. Okay, so let's deep dive into that. First one, A01. Okay, so here the code will be A01, which is WAPS top 10 for web application testing. Okay, if it is Docker, it is D01. If it is Kubernetes, it is K01, like that. Okay, so likewise here A01, which is a broken access control. Okay, so this is the number one very most critical risk with over 3 lakh 18,000 occurrences was reported. It happens when users can access things, but they shouldn't access. Okay, so let's say for example a normal user being able to view the admin pages or else some others else data. Okay, so that that is where exactly the broken access control come into picture. They need to access only what their scope or else what they are permitted to view. Okay, and then the second one was uh, and I will give the non-technical example also at the end. Okay, or else I will give a non-technical example one by one also. You can think like a broken access control. Let's say there is a one like hotel where whoever entering into a hotel, they are entering directly into the staff room, like where the staff only permitted, but somehow the persons who are entering into the hotel, they are also entering into the staff room. So here the doors are not locked properly, so that is the reason they are directly entering into the staff room also. Okay, so that's not should be the case, right? And coming to the second one, which is cryptographic failures. This is all about weak or some broken encryption. Let's say for example hard-coded secret keys, or else using a outdated algorithm, or else storing the passwords without hash value algorithm. So that is comes under cryptographic failure. Okay, let's say for example for a non-technical example, imagine you are writing your ATM pin on a sticky note and like notepad and leaving it on your card. Okay, so that's where the weak cryptographic feels like a software. That is where exactly the weak cryptographic value will come into in terms of software. That mean okay. And coming to the third category, which is injection. This includes the SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and command injection also. And we can see more than 274,000 occurrences. And it happens, let's say, when the user input is directly missed into the commands or else queries. Okay, so whenever the user try to input something on the username or password, so it will also considered as a SQL query. Okay, so that is the where this SQL injection come into picture. For a non-technical example, you can think of it like letting someone to add a extra words into a your recipe. Okay, so obviously the dish won't be as expected. Okay, so uh, it's not a good way, right? And moving to the next category, which is A04, insecure design. Okay, so this is one of the new category which was introduced in 2021. This was the year where OWASP top 10 lastly published. Okay, and it highlights missing or weak security controls in secure design. Okay, so in overall design of the application constraint, let's say for example building a banking application without a proper limitations for failed login attempts. Okay, so that is one of the insecure design. And uh, yeah, that is all about that insecure design. And coming to the fifth one, which is A05, security misconfiguration. This affects 90% of the applications worldwide. Why? Because when the systems are left in unsafe default state, a debug mode turned on, or else some default credentials still active. Okay, and it's the equivalent of buying a safe but leaving it wide open because you never set a password. So that's where the security misconfiguration come into picture. And moving further, where we will be discussing about the remaining categories, which is from A06 to A010. Okay, so the next category was A06, which is vulnerable and outdated components. Here the SCA will come into picture. This is all about using the libraries or frameworks or some software components that are insecure and old, which is not under maintenance. Okay, so if you don't patch or else update them, the attackers can obviously exploit the known weaknesses. This is like a leaving a broken lock of your front door. So everyone knows how to break it in, and you haven't replaced it. Okay, so this is where exactly the SCA tools came in and checking your dependencies for vulnerabilities, known vulnerabilities. Okay, and coming to the 7, which is A07, identification and authentication failures. Here, this covers problems with login and identity management. Let's say, for example, this includes weak passwords or some missing multi-factor authentication or session management flaws. So it is like a club with uh, security bouncers at the beginning, at the entrance, but they are not checking the identity, or else something identity should be there, right, for the persons who are entering. Okay, so they are not checking properly. So obviously, the everyone can enter into the club. And moving to the next category, which is A08. Okay, here the software and data integrity failures is come into picture. So this is the one of the new category which was introduced in 2021 project. Okay, and it primarily focuses on supply chain and CI/CD pipelines issues. So where the attackers tamper with software updates or some build processes. So for a non-technical example, imagine you are ordering a medicine, but somehow the like tablets, like whatever the pills you ordered, is swapped by someone in the middle of the delivery. Okay, so the package looks the same, but the content inside that is something else. Might be danger also. Okay, so that's why the data integrity checks is very much important, and it will check the whether the pipelines are secure or else supply chain is secure. And moving to the next category, which is A09, secure logging and monitoring failures. Okay, here if you don't log your events uh, properly or else monitor the events or servers, attackers can go whatever the attacks which is happened, that may go unnoticed. Okay, so it's like having a, for a non-technical example, for simple understanding, it's like having a CCTV camera that's which is non-functional or else turned off. Okay, so you don't know what happened until someone or later you notice it. Okay, it's too late by that time. Okay, so Without proper good logging and monitoring system, the incident response becomes almost impossible and mostly delay. Okay, so that's where this category come into picture. And A010, which is the last category, which is server side request forgery. Okay, and it is also one of the new category which is added in 2021, and it was added because the community prioritized it. Okay, so uh, SSRF we can say for short pronunciation, server side request forgery. So it happens when an attacker uh, tricks the server into making a request on their behalf. So for a non-technical example, you can think like uh, trying to convincing a trusted employee to sneak into a restricted area and bring back a sensitive information from the office. Okay, so these categories primarily highlights the risk and outdated components, weak encryption, authentication and supply chain attacks, poor monitoring and logging, and server-side forgery request. So these together with the first five, as well as uh, this will give us a full picture of today's most critical web application security threats. Okay, and moving further, where we will be discussing about what was changed in 2021. Okay, so firstly, there is a change regarding the adding new categories. Okay, earlier it was also WAPS at top 10 only. At the time also 10 was there. Now also 10 only there. Okay, but there might be some categories which was replaced with the another categories. So that is where the new categories are introduced, which is A04 insecure design, and then A08 which is software and data integrity, and A010 which is server side forgery, request forgery. Okay, so and then basically this insecure design focuses on missing or weak security controls into a architecture design itself. And then this software and data integrity it highlights the supply chain attacks and CI/CD risks. And then server side forgery, request forgery, which is added because of the community prioritization, and it is one of the growing threat. So that is the reason it came into picture. And then the next change was broken access control. So here it was jumped from 5 to the top first. Okay, earlier it was under top 5 in 2017. Now it was in the top 1. Okay, why? Because uh, the most critical issues. It was one of the most critical issue, and it was how it was showing how it was widely spreading dangerously across the uh, projects, and it was able to uh, manage a dangerous access control flaws, and that is where it came into picture to become the number 1. Okay, and the another one was cross-site scripting merged into a injection. Okay, so this was the another change regarding the cross-site scripting merged into a injection, which is because to be its own category. So it was now merged into A03, which is injection, SQL injection. So this reflects the idea that cross-site scripting is just one of the form of SQL injection attack. Okay, so not only SQL, it is an injection attack, we can say. And then finally there is a focus shift. Instead of just aligning a symptoms, WAPs now emphasized a root causes. Like 8 categories are based on the hard data, and 2 like insecure design and SSRF were added from the community point. So these are insecure design, and these are added based upon the community inputs. Okay, so finally this particular 2021 update shows WAPS is evolving with a threat landscape that makes sure the developers and security teams focuses on the most pressing risky today. Okay, what is the most critical risk? Okay, and moving further, where we will be discussing about how the SAST and WAPS top 10 connection, how it was connected together. So we all know like SAST tools tag findings with OWASP categories based on, the tool itself, the scanner itself works in such a way. Okay, when SAST tool scans the code, it doesn't just say there is a problem. It actually tags each finding with the relevant OWASP category. Let's say, for example, you will see something like A01, okay, 2021. So which is a broken access control, okay, A01, or else if you see something like A03 2021, which is a SQL injection. Okay, so the popular tools, especially the like SonarCube, Fortify, Checkmarks, SimGrip, all flows will be the same way. Okay, I mean the back end of the scanner works in the same way. So this particular mapping is very much powerful because it helps teams to prioritize the remediation, because it follows, I mean the OWASP follows the industry standards. So that is the reason it also makes sure to align with the same industry standard risks. And here is the one of the real time example where you will be understand the OWASP top 10 makes you a better security engineer. Okay, so by this example understanding, it will be clear how exactly it was going to help. Okay, so let us try to understand the example here. Let me clear the screen. Yeah, here is the one of the real example from a SAST report, basically how the SAST reports. Okay, here you can see the critical issue, which is SQL injection detected. Okay, and it was tagged as a category A03 2021, which is a SQL injection. Okay, and it also specifies in which this particular thing was found, like found in which file. Here in our case, the path of the file is API under that user.java. Okay, in that at line number 42, this was the critical finding. Okay, and also there is a one more finding which is highlighted as a high severity issue, which is missing access control check, and it comes under the category A01 2021, which is broken access control. Okay, and what is the file path here? The controllers and then admin.js in line number 15. Okay, so instead of just seeing a raw technical errors, developers and security engineers can see the findings mapped to the OWASP top 10 categories. This basically makes a clear visibility, like which the issues are most dangerous and what need to be prioritized next, like that. Okay, so I think so you got a key understanding of how the SAST and OWASP top 10 are connected and what are the OWASP top 10 categories. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the video and stay tuned for more videos.